Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Kelly. I'm absolutely addicted to K-beauty. And if Korean skincare is something you absolutely love too, please consider giving my channel a subscribe if you enjoy the video. So today's video is actually inspired by a conversation I recently had with a friend on Instagram. She's totally into Korean skincare too. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was like, this may be an unpopular opinion. And then, just like rant, right? I just shot my mouth off. But that actually got me to thinking, what other unpopular opinions might I be harboring about K-beauty? And is it time to get them off my chest? So give this video a big thumbs up because today I'm letting it all out. I am letting you know my unpopular opinions, and let me know during the video if you agree or if you disagree in the comment box below. Hit that thumbs up button and let's get started. Unpopular opinion number one. Cosrx is not all that and a bag of chips. I'm not saying that they're a bad brand or anything, but I just don't get the cult status hype over Cosrx, particularly over their newer releases. I mean, honestly, they have been so hit or miss. I mean, those sunscreens and the tiny little tubes that they came out with, what was that? Those actually sucked really badly, both of them. I mean, the Hydrium line was really a letdown for me, the products that I've tried from it. I do like their new Propolis line, I'm not gonna lie, but so many of their newer releases in the last like 2-3 years do not reach the status of the Snail Essence, the Good Morning Low pH Cleanser, the AHA and BHA liquids. I mean, classic vintage Cosrx versus current Cosrx, it's just not the same to me. And, I just don't get the cult-like hype. That's definitely an unpopular opinion, but that's just how I feel. What's the deal with emulsions? What's the deal with emulsions? I've never understood them. I don't get the point. I've just never found emulsions to be all that helpful. And I've tried many throughout the years. Emulsions can kind of help boost your final moisturizer, but in my opinion, I don't want two products to do the job of one. I just want one really good product to do all the moisturizing that my skin needs. That's just kind of how I view it. The other kind of emulsion that I've tried have been more like hydrating emulsions, but in my skincare philosophy, the way I build my personal routines, I like a lot of my hydration at the beginning of my skincare routine, and I like a lot of nourishment and moisture at the end of my routine. So having a light hydrating lotion prior to a more emollient cream, for me, just doesn't work. And it kind of leaves me wondering, I definitely, people have uses for emulsions, don't get me wrong, but it kind of left me wondering if emulsions were just one of those weird K-beauty steps that sort of got invented by the skincare companies in order to sell us more products, right? In order to sell us on a longer routine, buying more products. Yes, you need an emulsion. And it's like, no, probably you don't. The next opinion is probably the most controversial one on the list. Maybe. Whenever I say this, and I've said this many times on my channel before, but whenever I do, I get some of the most polarized comments ever. So many commenters are so pro and so many commenters are so con this opinion. What is it? Hyaluronic acid is not the bomb.com. I actually really don't like hyaluronic acid. Very unpopular opinion. That ingredient gets so much love, so much hype. So many people really love it. And you know what? It just does not work for my skin. Now, every time I say that, this is when the polarizing comments come out because some people will agree with me. They have similar experiences. Hyaluronic acid actually ends up dehydrating our skin no matter what we do. And then the other group of comments will just tell me that I'm using it wrong. And I do appreciate the enthusiasm and the potential ways to make that ingredient work. But I have to tell you, I've been trying to make this ingredient work for me for years because it is so popular. And I'm like, what's wrong with me that I can't make this work? But it's just not right for my skin. Hyaluronic acid actually, in order to hydrate your skin, the molecule itself doesn't really hydrate, but it actually attracts hydration from the environment around you to the molecule, and that's actually how it hydrates your skin. And when you've got a dry environment with no humidity for that hyaluronic acid molecule to grab hydration from, what it actually does is it starts to grab hydration from deep within your skin, and it ends up kind of pushing it towards the surface. And if you're already kind of dehydrated or prone to that, that hydration just leaves your skin and just evaporates right off. And that's why you can apply this really supposedly hydrating hyaluronic acid heavy product, but end up with dry and tight skin a few hours later, because it's actually starting to do the reverse, right? It's backfiring on you. That is really the perfect storm, right? Dehydration and a dry environment plus hyaluronic acid. Perfect storm to dry your skin out. No matter if you go and put it on in a humid bathroom after a shower, no matter if you sandwich it on with a mist or a toner, no matter if you put an occlusive moisturizer on top of it, at least in my experience, none of those things work. Probably the most polarizing opinion that I have on this list, believe it or not, people get really heated about this, but it just doesn't work for me, but I definitely respect that it works for a lot of other people. Laneige is underwhelming and overpriced. There, I said it. Yeah. And you may be surprised to hear me say this, because I do speak about two Laneige products quite frequently with a lot of love in my heart, and that is Cream Skin Refiner and the Lip Sleeping Mask. I really love both of those products. I have repurchased them many, many times. I continue to use them and will continue to love them and talk about them. But generally speaking, Laneige as a brand, as a whole, of all the Laneige products that I've tried, generally speaking, it is a very underwhelming brand for me, especially when I very first tried their products, which was the Water Bank Cream and the Water Bank Eye Gel. I tried those products and it was kind of like, I mean, it wasn't like breaking the bank, but it was some of the more expensive products that I had tried at the time, and it was like definitely a stretch in my skincare budget to afford those products. So for me to spend what I felt like was a lot of money for these products and for them to really disappoint me and be so underwhelming, I was pretty frustrated. And I do find their price points to be just a little bit off the mark. And that's just how I generally feel about Laneige. Now, does that mean I'll never try any products from them again? Like, I definitely just ordered a product from them. I will still continue to try and test their products, but as a brand, I am not on the Laneige train. Now, Korean skincare is synonymous with the 10-step routine, right? Everybody knows when you hear about Korean skincare, you think more is more. It is a maximalist approach to doing a skincare routine. And I honestly just don't know that I buy into the 10-step routine. What? Yeah, I know that you've definitely seen me put on 10 layers or potentially even more onto my face in my skincare routine videos. However, I do not believe that the 10-step routine is right for everyone. When I first started my skincare journey, I got drawn into that. I was like, yeah, 10 steps, more is more. My skin is gonna be like amazing with 10 steps. This is so awesome. And that is actually particularly where my experiences with emulsions comes into play, where I started to get really frustrated about that product. I was like, I don't get this. They're telling me in this 10-step routine I need to have an emulsion, but like, what is this product doing for me? I don't enjoy this at all. I have come to realize that, my skin kind of likes a little bit more of like 5 to 8 steps. It's definitely on the bigger side, the more elaborate side, but the whole 10-step and the very strict product categories just doesn't work for me. It doesn't fit my lifestyle. It doesn't fit my skin. And I like the flexibility of just kind of like letting go of this like 10-step structure and just following my gut instinct and my skin tuition, if you will, right? The intuition about my skin. The thing about skincare is that we're so individual. That's the really interesting thing about this whole skincare journey, is everybody's skin is different and we cannot treat it the same way. Instead of like trying to shove our skincare routines into a box, we really just need to listen to our skin tuition and hone into that just a little bit more. For the love of all that is holy, K-beauty brands and some Western brands, listen up. If you are creating a sensitive skincare product, For the love of all that is holy, do not, I repeat, do not include essential oils in the product. Why are you doing this? I get it. Lavender definitely has some calming properties to it. Lavender essential oil definitely has some irritating compounds to it. If you already have sensitive skin or sensitized or irritated skin, why would you think putting an essential oil on top of that is going to make it better? It is likely going to make it worse. It is likely going to make it worse. Please, please stop doing this. It is so frustrating. What exactly is an essence these days? And where the heck does it go in your skincare routine? Am I right? I mean, look, I know what an essence is. I know where it goes in your skincare routine, but I'm starting to get frustrated because I feel like we need to invent a new word because we have like 3 different types of essences floating out there, and it's not that easy to identify what they all are. We know that in the whole scheme of a 10-step routine, you know, you're supposed to do a cleanser, and then you're supposed to do your toners, and then you do your essences, and then you do your serums and creams, right? Now, essences were really kind of first developed to be the essential step in your skincare routine. It kind of bridges the gap between your hydrating toner and your sort of targeted treatment serum. It's kind of a little bit of both. It kind of bridges the gap, and it generally is meant to bring some anti-aging benefits into the routine. It's really meant to preserve the youthfulness of your skin, to fight wrinkles, to brighten the skin, and to deliver antioxidants into the skin. But then we get first essences. First essence meant to go first. First what? After cleansing. What? You're killing the 10-step order now. This is starting to get confusing. So first essence was developed to prep your skin, kind of building off of the whole like essential step. A first essence is the essential way to prep your skin for your skincare routine. This is still going to bring the anti-aging benefits into the party, but I find a lot of first essences start to also claim, a lot of them claim to brighten up your skin as well. They also tend to be more highly fermented, which is what actually helps them prep your skin because it aids absorption. The texture of a first essence versus a traditional essence is totally different. First essences are very thin. They're very easily absorbed. Generally speaking, they're even thinner than your toners, where essences can be a little bit thicker. Those lines start to get blurred though because textures are kind of crossing over all over the place these days. Now, the third type of essence that I want to talk about, because yes, there is a third kind that I've noticed, and that is an essence that is encroaching upon serum territory. Like, why can we not make a new word for this or just call it what it is? It's a serum. I'm talking about the Skin Food Propolis Enrich essence that comes in a dropper bottle and has the consistency of serums. Like, at one point in my skincare routine, I had a first essence, a toner, a regular essence, and then the Skin Food essence / serum. I was like, my skincare routine has 3 essences. This is starting to sound crazy. It worked great, but it was starting to look a little bit crazy. That's why I would propose that we maybe create some new terms for these or be a little bit more transparent about what the product is supposed to do and where it should go in our skincare routines, because this is just kind of getting nuts. The next unpopular opinion might be the most serious one. I'm not really sure. It's something that I've been holding on to for a while, but it is something that I feel compelled to point out. Let's put it that way. So it is about essential oils, just so you guys know. Prior to like the 2016-ish era, prior to that time, it would be really hard to find a product with an essential oil in it in the Korean skincare space. Fast forward, they're in pretty much everything now, right? They have definitely, like, they are like the star ingredient, it seems like, of so many products. They're just in everything. And with the rise, maybe you've noticed this too, with the rise of essential oils just becoming more and more popular in skincare formulations in Korean skincare, I've also noticed, in the last few years, a rise in products that are geared more towards sensitive skin, a lot more anti-irritation products, and a lot more barrier care products. What am I trying to point out here? Like, what's your point, Kelly? My point is that it kind of feels like K-Beauty sort of created this issue. They sort of created this essential oil monster, and as you know, essential oils do have the potential to really irritate skin. They have the potential to break down your moisture barrier defenses over time. They have the potential to overly dehydrate and dry out your skin over a long period of time with continuous use, right? Essential oils are a very tricky ingredient that can cause a lot of problems for people. So K-Beauty kind of almost created this issue, right? All of these essential oils and products, like all of a sudden, and now all of a sudden we've got all these people with irritated and sensitive skin. It's like K-Beauty created the problem and now they're selling us the solution. What is the difference between a serum and an ampoule? Anybody? Bueller, right? Like, what the heck is the difference? Now, I do understand the textbook difference. Ampoules, generally speaking, are going to be a more highly concentrated version of a serum. They're going to have more concentrated beneficial ingredients, meaning they're going to give you bigger and better results. However, what the heck is the difference? Because they honestly seem to be another word for serum. Just like we have 3 different types of essences floating around out there, I feel like serums and ampoules could basically just be the same product. And I feel like, and this may just totally be a case of just the maybe narrow experience that I've had with ampoules. Way back in the day, I feel like ampoules used to be a lot thicker in texture, so it would make sense to use a thinner, lighter weight serum and then go in for a thicker textured ampoule afterwards. You can use both together. But lately, my ampoules are lighter than my serums. My serums are thicker than my ampoule. Like, there's just, the lines have been so blurred, I don't really understand the difference. And yeah, I just feel like the words right now just are becoming so interchangeable. Now, my next unpopular opinion is one you would never have heard me say like 2 years ago. Trust me, I would not have ever said this. But looking towards the future and looking at trends and looking at how things are going, I have to tell you, I really do feel that Korean sunscreens are falling behind. Yeah, I have a feeling that they might fall behind. Now, I'll be honest with you, I do feel that Asian sunscreens, and I'm opening that up, Asian to Japanese sunscreens as well, have always been at the forefront of the sunscreen game. Particularly, Japanese sunscreens have an excellent reputation. K-Beauty's kind of always been in their shadow, just a little bit, but Korean sunscreens definitely have their place there. However, European sunscreens, Australian sunscreens are catching up. Not US sunscreens. United States will probably never dominate the sunscreen game because the regulations are just too stupid. That's a different video. But particularly European sunscreens are starting to catch up on those more innovative filters, those better formulations, and just more cosmetic elegance. And the reason why I say I feel Korean sunscreens particularly are falling behind is because I'm just not seeing the innovation in this area. I'm seeing a backslide because so many brands are actually including citrus essential oils in their sunscreens, which actually can backfire on you. It can actually make your skin more sensitive to sun exposure. You don't want a photosensitizing ingredient in your sun protection. And I'm seeing that happening so much in Korean sunscreens recently. I'm not seeing the innovation. I'm not seeing the push for the use of better filters or better filter combinations, right? We're falling behind, and it may be an unpopular opinion. For me personally, a lot of the Korean sunscreens and the Japanese sunscreens are the only ones that work and that my skin can tolerate. So I'm kind of staying where I'm at, but I definitely see them sort of losing that top spot in the next year or so. Ooh, I feel like a weight was lifted off my chest. It feels good to get that out there. Now, some of that I feel very passionately about, and other parts of it was just good old plain fun. Like, it is fun to get sassy, right? You know I love Korean skincare, and I am actually really interested to know if anything that I said triggered you, like good or bad trigger. Like, were you like, right on, girl, I agree? Or were you like, no, I do not agree? Let me know in the comment box below, and also drop me some of your unpopular Korean skincare opinions as well. If you had fun in this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I release 2 new Korean skincare focused videos every single week. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't actually miss out on those videos, because YouTube likes to do that. And if you want to see a little bit more from me before the next video, come join me over on Instagram, where I share all of my skincare adventures. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I can't wait to see you in the next video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.